Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Blueprints. I'm just doing runs to try to get through more treasure troves. Two realms have the same color banner. That's false. And hopefully eventually something good will come out of that. Well, in this run, I have a ton of money and nothing to spend it on, so let's buy the Swimbird plushie to unlock Dare Mode. Unlocked. I don't know what that's about. Don't have any intention to do that anytime soon, but at least it's done. I think I had a treasure map that led into the lab. So let's dig it up together. Because I like digging. Time to start digging. Yeah. I've got the jackhammer, but it still makes the shovel noise whenever you have a treasure map for whatever reason. I don't know if you get any better stuff with the jackhammer on a treasure map versus a shovel on a treasure map. It's a coffers full of gems. Oh boy. I've got so many gems. I can't spend anything. I don't have a coat check, so we're going to lose all these nice items, but c'est la vie. Alright, I had checked out Swimbird again, and I just wanted to get the list of all the people who had checked it out. And Herbert did a long time ago, Miss Peterson, me, and Babbage, Detective Von Margle. Okay, and that would be when he was investigating while they were in the shelter. Alright, eventually I'll get all these library cards with all the checkout dates, in case that becomes relevant. Well, I filled out the whole house, and there was not a treasure trove this time around. A Chamber of Mirrors kind of threw off the whole vibe. I got offered some duplicates of a passageway and a pantry, and I wasn't interested in either of those. Here's another treasure trove. Black. Oh, black again with the moon. So that's interesting. Boxes marked with this always contain false statements. I'll have to refer back to see if that is true, but it can't be because then it would be false. That had that mark. I'm worried now that I might be sent on a wild goose chase. That was weird. It's showing me a dig spot here. I just dug up like a normal dig spot. Why is it doing that? A long buried file cabinet key? Likely opens a drawer somewhere on the estate. What? A long time ago there was a green note that said there are 12 types of special keys, or major keys, and I think up until now I'd found 11 of them. I'm guessing this is the 12th. I kind of found it accidentally, because I have lots of courtyards again. I got the blessing again. And so I've had my head down with the shovel, like doing lots of digging, because there's another spot over here I need to dig too. And I just happened to mouse over that. And I don't know, like there must be some secret there, or I didn't have a treasure map that would point there. Okay, so what did it say? A drawer somewhere on the estate, a file cabinet key. The most likely place, I think, would be the archives. The second most likely place would be the office, maybe? Where else has... somewhere in the estate. It could also be down in the basement. I'm trying to think where else there's file cabinets. File cabinet key. The archives has the most file cabinets. I'm sure there's other rooms that do too. I'll have to think about the rooms I've already drafted really quick. Security, I think, has file cabinets. Did I draft security yet? So security, the archives, and I'll have to think about what else. And do I have a coat? Okay, here's security. So that's good. Do I have a coat check already in this one? I do have a coat check already, so I could always store this key at the end of the day if I don't find where it goes. Okay, that was just like a really weird thing to happen upon. So, file cabinets. Here's file cabinets. I have a crazy key. That does not seem to open any of these. I don't need to talk to the computer right now. Okay, this just got weird. I've only got one reroll. Are there any file cabinets in the dark room? I don't think there are. Are there any in the library? I don't think there are. I do need to cycle through the library in order to keep getting different books. So I'm going to draft the library here since it's basically like a dead end. I did Swimbird. History of Arindia, the one that Detective Bond Marble checked out. I think I might want to see the card on that. The Fixed Stars. Do I have the library card on that as well? I think these are the two. Let's do the redacted history of Arindia again. So that I'll be able to look at the checkout card on that, and I think I also need to look at the checkout card on the Fixed Stars. Okay, so now I need to try to draft the archive. I haven't already drafted the archives, right? Right. Which means if I see a furnace, it could be good. Except if I take a furnace, I cut off a lot of the drafting power left in the whole state. Whereas with the chapel here, I still have a lot more draws. If I take the furnace, I would have 1, 2... I'd only have like 2 or 3 places that I could try to draw. And I still have other ways I could get rerolls, so I think I'm going to take the chapel. And then I guess either of these could potentially draft around corners still. East Wing Hall will at least give me another draw. And take that out of the pool. I guess Pantry I could have taken out of the pool from anywhere, so that would have been a better draw now that I'm thinking of it. The Armory is kind of always a good draw. So I think I'll take that. And that way I can buy my Morning Star, if nothing else. And... darn it. I hate the way that it quits processing mouse inputs whenever one of these pop-ups that describes an item appears. I always end up clicking outside the window after that. I'll buy all of these just because I have the money and I'm not going to buy anything else. Okay, so I could get the archives in here in theory. Mechanarium is really not going to do much for me. Mechanarium will clutter the pool the same way the pantry will. So I'm just going to take the pantry right now to get that out of the pool, and we'll go to the other spot where I can draft. And we'll spend our reroll if we need to, and possibly there's Cloister at Draxus I wouldn't be able to do and also get the... I could. Yeah, that could work. Okay, I'll meet you over there. Okay, so if I got Cloister of Draxus here, I would be able to draw something, get 4 rerolls, and then basically get 5 attempts at the one north of the Foundation, so I think that would be an acceptable draw. None of these are what I want. None of these are really what I want. Lost and Found, it's not going to help me. So I think I'll spend an Observatory Star to reroll again. And again. And again. I still have 90 stars, which is a lot. And again. And again. Okay, let's take the courtyard and try... I could possibly dig up some dice. Actually, can you dig up dice? I think you can. Do I have the ingredients to make a better... I don't have a battery pack. Is there a chest in here that might have a battery pack in it? Or more dice? That's what I really want. And I might need the gems for drafting for some reason, but at this point I think I have enough resources and I don't think I'm going to dig up anything else that's good. There's the back of the closed exhibit, which I don't really care about right now. Okay, so here's one of two places I could draft the archives. And it's not here. We'll do another redraw. The attic would have more chances at dice, I suppose, as well as a battery that I might be able to coat check something. Well, I'm going to be checking the file cabinet. Are there any file cabinets in the storage room? I don't think so. And there's none in the bedroom, right? It definitely said file cabinet key. The bedroom is suspicious, though. Do I have a bedroom already? No. I'm going to do the bedroom just because I've always been suspicious about this thing. It doesn't look like a file cabinet or something that would accept a file cabinet key, but now I know. Well, I can always just coat check this for next time. Oops, this is not a way that I can go. Bedroom was angling the wrong way. Okay, that's fine. Let's go around the foundation with a quick stop to eat some stuffed wild quail. Might as well have a bunch of steps in case this leads me on more of a goose chase. Oh, speaking of more steps. Alright, come on, archives. I will redraw once. I lied, and I'm going to redraw one more time. Okay, that's as much as I'm willing to do. So, I guess we will save this crazy key that we just found in coat check, and then we'll try to use it in the archives tomorrow. I already did security. Are there any other rooms on my current house that have filing cabinets? I don't think there's any in the break room or the parlor or the commissary. Yeah, I think it's basically... There's still the downstairs, and I have all these steps. I can go down to the basement. Actually, this is a perfect place to be down to the basement. Aha! Because I know there's some filing cabinets down there. There's actually a lot of filing cabinets down there, aren't there? Now that I'm thinking about it. So, there aren't any right here. But in this room, there are a lot of filing cabinets somewhere, I believe. I don't remember if there's any over on that side. It's a little bit of a maze in here. I have to climb up this to find out that, and also, are there any over here? I don't think there's any filing cabinets over here, but there's definitely, okay, there's definitely some back there. So we'll go check them out in a moment. But there's also some here, which I can only access the back of, it looks like. Yeah, I can kind of access the front. Any of you guys take my key? Apparently not. And over yonder, are there any filing cabinets back here? No, there's just the table with the Trinsdale appointment card or whatever. Okay, what about these filing cabinets? Doesn't seem to be them. How about these? Doesn't seem to be them. How about these? I'm not sure if I need to click on just like anywhere in the cabinet or on the lock or on the center of the box. So I might not have been as thorough as I should have been. Try to be more thorough moving forward. Does not seem to be any of those. There's some more over here. Doesn't seem to be any of those. Or these. So I think this key is going into coat check. Did I try these already? I don't remember already. Key is going into coat check, and we'll check the archives tomorrow. Oh hey, here's another one of these scratched up thingies, just like is in the bedroom. And from the back of it, it almost looks like it's kind of hollowed out. Interesting. Are there any filing cabinets in the safe house? I'll have to review my video footage of that because I don't remember. So that's another potential place to look. I don't think there's any filing cabinets anywhere up in the inner sanctum. So let us check a cabinet key. Alright, that has been checked. We'll have it for another day. And now I need to head to the break room so I can get a key card. Archaeological Shopping Center. Hey, coat check the next day. I'm a little bit worried that back in episode like 2 or 3 or whenever it was, that I dug up the conservatory floor plan out by the campsite. And it was something that I got a clue about where it was buried, like, much later, like, among the white trees under the 2 stones. And I just happened to randomly stumble on it. I feel like I randomly stumbled on this. So, it makes me worried that it's gonna be something that maybe is... I'm just gonna get a clue for later and then be disappointed about. I don't know. In any case, trying to build up some resources, then we need to draft the archives. Oh. I came into the root cellar trying to dig, and it's like, oh, you can't dig unless you have a shovel, and I do not have a shovel. There's a note here. Search continues. Author and illustrator whose fanciful stories named Marion Marigold was last seen Friday getting into a carriage after a late. No sign has been found yet. That sounds like the no sign has been found, like sounds like seeing the signs in a new clue. Why is this here? And is this a part of the bit that was cut out of the archives? I don't think it was. Alright, I'll have to screenshot that and compare it to some of my archive stuff. I guess I did not search the root cellar very thoroughly. Perhaps the first time I came in here I had a shovel and I just started digging. Is there anything else on the shelves other than old potatoes? I mean, obviously there's this, and we've taken a look at the family tree. It's possible that there's something that's cut off over here, but I think all the information that we want is clearly pictured there. Okay, if I get a shovel, this could be a good place to come back to, especially if I get a good lab experiment. But I drafted a few rooms and decided I would come out here just to see what we were getting. Basically wanted to see if I was going to get the tomb to make my Geist bedroom have more dice, so I'd have more rerolls for more flexibility. But I can probably pull off the observatory at some point. And I've already got 7 keys, so I think I won't bother solving the break room puzzle right now. Speaking of the lab, one of my favorite rooms, because I like running experiments, even though at this point I've got an allowance of 100 gold. So I probably don't need more experiments that increase my allowance. Let's say this and this. Spread dirt on the driveway when we get through security doors. Great. Experiment has been set up. What do we got? Conference room. It's not the best place for it. I'm gonna put the chapel here, since I probably will never need to walk through again. And the Geist bedroom. Ooh, I do like the armory though too. And I do like the conservatory too. Oh, they're all good. I'm gonna take the armory, because if I am drafting the archives, and especially if it turns out not to be what I'm looking for anyway, I will want to be able to shield myself against the negative effects of the archives. So let's definitely buy a night shield and buy the other things that are also good. Alright, so here's the one tax that I'll pay again. And then from here... This is not as bad of a spot for the conference room, so we'll go ahead and take it. And at this point, I can draft over here, sure. I've only got 4 gems. I think I prefer to build up some more gems before we go nuts spending them all. And I guess we can do one of these on camera again. Gems are in the black box. The gems are not in this box. The statements on the other 2 boxes are true. That can't be true, because then all 3 would be true. So this is definitely false, which means one or both of these are true. Gems are in the black box. Gems are not in this box. Both of those could be true and they'd be in the black box. So... Except for they can't both be true, I just said, because then this one would also be true. So... It actually was in the blue box. Because they're not in this box, but then this one is false. Oops. That'll teach me to do things on camera. It won't teach me anything, but you get the idea. Guess we'll pick up some keys. Yoink yoink. And if I want the archives, I have to get back into the middle of the play area. So let's try to do that. I keep trying to bend down to dig the dig holes, but I don't have the shovel yet. Attic could probably give us a shovel. And... oh, I don't have any rerolls. It's dangerous, but I might find some dice up here too. You don't usually find dice in the attic though. But I'm just gonna run with the danger. I just have to draft something straight through the foundation. I mean, I guess I could always call the what do you call up as well. Alright, there's another treasure map. Just gonna lead to some money or gems, I expect. Magnifying glass, etc. Thanks for the gem. Here's a shovel. Da 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 da! We got a shovel. That was the thing I wanted. I'm a big fan of the shovel. At this point, I think it probably does make sense to head back out to the root cellar and dig up all those spots before I do the rest. So let me run out there. Alright, I got a key and some money. Digging up all those spots. Why would that little snippet be in the root cellar? That little newspaper snippet. I don't have a good backstory reason for that to be there. Okay. Dig something that goes straight on through. Workshop! You've saved me. Take me to the foundation. Also, thank you for the coins. Oh, also, thank you for the battery pack. Can I make something good? I don't have a handle yet. So we'll see if we can get a handle at some point. Let's get a handle on the situation. Alright. So... there's usually 2 or 3 dig spots in the foundation. So we'll grab them before we go. And then from here, the kennel's actually super great. Because it's probably got a dig spot, and it means we'll need fewer keys. Oh my gosh, probably got a dig spot. What I meant to say is, it probably has 6 dig spots, because we have the root cellar. This is crazy. Dogs are burying old shoes. A pair of them. For someone who has 2 left feet or something. Oh my gosh, 3 of them. So many shoes. Good job, doggies. I forgot to look. I should have taken the observatory. That was just instinctful. To see it, there can sometimes be an item sitting there. That's what I forgot to look at. Observatory gives me rerolls, and I should totally get that. I guess I'll take the corridor. Might be able to use the secret garden key out here. There's the observatory, but it's going the wrong way. Let's go ahead and get the pantry out of the pool so it won't pollute the middle drawing and we'll be more likely to draw the archives. And from here I'm headed north, right? So I should be able to use the secret garden key and get the secret garden, which also means I get to dig, which is my favorite thing in the world. Should be another one over here. I think sometimes there's another one over here. Yeah. Okay. Are there any filing cabinets in room 46? I'm trying to picture the room in my head, and I can't picture any right now. But just in case, we'll give ourselves some possibility of finding that. Did I dig this up? I did not dig this up. Okay. From here, I could potentially get archives by drafting back out in this direction. And the observatory is actually really good. So we're going to take the observatory. Let's take a look at some stars. Rerolls, pair of chests, more flowers. I don't want the dead ends, and the pizza slice. Great. And now we get the dumb observatory music that I don't like as much as the music we just had. Or maybe we won't. Seems the other music is continuing, which I prefer. Ordinary key. I didn't even look to see if there's like a chest over here. And there is. And we definitely have a sledgehammer. Kapow! And I'll grab these. And I'll grab these. Okay, so from here... Yeah, might as well draft this way. Try to find our archives. Storeroom, I think I said. I'm pretty sure doesn't. Music room would turn us at an angle. And it would give us a couple of keys. That's acceptable. I don't like spending as many gems as I have, but I think we'll be okay. Car keys. Not super great. Now are we going to get the music room music? That'd be good. Office. I'll get a gem back out of the thingy do, and I'll be able to check if there is a filing cabinet in here. So is there anywhere that a filing cabinet key might go in here? I don't think so. Let me make sure like the other drawer on the desk like doesn't open up with this or something. Nope. Didn't mean to get sucked in there. I don't need to do any of this. So yeah, I don't think we're filing anything away in here. Okay, and so we're just back to drafting and trying to get the archives. Closed exhibit library cuts us off, so that's no good. Closed exhibit has the right whatever and doesn't cost anything, so we'll do closed exhibit. And then I'd like to get something that's just a dead end that I want to get out of the pool in here. I could get rid of tunnel. Commissary boudoir would give me another gem in case I need it for drafting, so let's take that. And I'll also eat these delicious things along the way. Yoink! Alright, and then over here, I need to draft myself around the corner to get back up to somewhere where the archives might appear, since it's a four-way room. More dig spots sounds good to me, and it gives me the angles that I need. Do I want to dig up all the dig spots at this point? I have, for the most part, enough resources. And yeah, I think we'll leave those dig spots behind. Would a silver key help? Hold on. Where am I? No, I want to use the silver key in the middle. Treasure trove. We're taking it. I don't really need to take the money, but I'm going to anyway. because it's kind of fun. Okay, so we're at a white flame. And this one says, the true treasure of the trove is not in this room. And that's false. So the true treasure of the trove is in this room, you're saying. Is there a treasure hidden in here that I have failed to discern that is not in that box like on another day? Let's do a little bit more walking around looking for interaction prompts. Thought I kind of did this before, but that's motivated me to do it again. But I don't see any interactables. Lots of golden treasures. Usual wall art that one finds in rooms. So yeah. The true treasure of the trove is not in this room. The true treasure of the trove presumably is in this room, but perhaps on another day. Okay, special keys. Silver key. Show me the archives. We did not get the archives. I think it's worth a redraw to take another attempt. We didn't get it. I'll take a redraw to get another attempt. There's the archives. And let's Night Shield so that I'm shielded against it having bad effects. I have the file cabinet key on my person. And so let's go through all the filing cabinets and hope that one of these is the one that's going to respond to my key. Please. This could take a while. Aha! I got an interaction prompt down here. An upgrade disc? That's impossible. There's only 16 of them, and I've already gotten them. Okay. Certificate of birth. Mary Matthew Epstein was born to Lady Claire Epson and Simon H. Sinclair, 4:05 Tuesday, 22nd of January, 6th era, 1958. In witness thereof, East Reddington Hospital, Fan Aries Register of Persons, Dr. Lily Rizian Rose, and Registrar Officer Sarah Drivian. Presumably, this date might be important, and also here is the sigil of Fen Aries. Militia, Fog, Fen Aries, red on the outside. Alright. Well, that's interesting. Did it consume my filing cabinet key? It looks like I did. I got an upgrade disk. And there's not supposed to be any more upgrade disk. Where is the nearest terminal? Is there one behind me? There's one behind me in the office, just a few steps away. I am super interested in seeing what is there. So let's do a little bit of doubling back and immediately checking that out, because I must know. So we'll just skedaddle on over here through the closed exhibit and insert the disc. I thought I had all 16. Parlor. I've already had the Parlor upgrade disc, and I took the 3 prize. There's also 2 wind-up keys, and there's a funeral parlor equal to the number of red rooms in your house. If you open an empty box in the funeral parlor, you lose 30 steps. Yeah, so this is just re-upgrading. Where did I find the parlor upgrade key before? I don't know. But yeah, that was just a duplicate upgrade. So I guess there's more upgrade keys or upgrade discs than there are whatevers in the world. Okay. Whenever there's one mystery solved, there's like another mystery created. Am I at rank? That looks like that was in the observatory. That would have been in the observatory. Did I get that since I was in the observatory? Let's just pop back in there and dig up the treasure, since I happen to notice it in my inventory. A treasure map. Treasure map. This looks like the spot. Time to start digging. Okay. Let's see what probably not very useful to me treasure I get this time. So I guess if nothing else, 40 monies. Plus another 14. If nothing else, I kind of crossed off something off my list, which was the 12 major keys. Like, it feels like now we've seen all of them. Do I have a dining room yet? It feels like I got it right back at the beginning. Yeah. I still have a lot of steps. Did I already draft the library today? Not in this house. The library, I think, is the only other thing that I want to draft. I guess I could also potentially get the Chamber of Mirrors and be able to draft another of the... Oh, interesting. This hole is still here. So, unlike everything else that resets, that's clearly a non-resettable hole. So yeah, there's almost certainly going to be like some clue at some point that says, dig in front of the patio grill, in not so many words. And that's how we were supposed to find that, I think is what it was. I just happened to be walking over here when I was grabbing a gem. Okay. Okay. Alright, well, we're getting information. Just taking this for the angles, really. Yeah, I guess if I get low on steps, I could try to dig up some more turnips, but mostly now I'm just trying to get the library so that I can keep looking at checkout cards. There we go, library. We did it. So, this one, Sinclair... Mary checked it out in 84. The detective checked it out, interesting, in March and in September. So after her disappearance, and again after the crown was stolen. And I never did go back and try to do a comparison of like what got redacted versus what didn't, but I don't think it was particularly interesting. And we can always look at the detective's notes. But yeah, I don't think that there's anything. Let me, do any of these pictures look like they would be worthy of scrutiny under the magnifying glass? This one does not. This one, I feel like I have possibly looked at it under the magnifying glass in the past. Morning Bay. And so Morning Bay, it possibly calls it out. But the pacification of Fen, this might be an answer to a final exam question, which I eventually do want to go and ace. So it's good to know that. And yeah, this is just like the King's Children. And I don't think there's anything useful to see there with the magnifying glass. What about here? Now this looks like what we saw through the window downstairs. Yeah. This looks like what we saw through the window downstairs when we got up on top of the cogs or whatever. The actual, like, treasure of Arinda. So let's see. So was this the original castle? I'm gonna have to look at the unredacted version now. Okay, but that actually could be interesting. Okay, cool. So I got my information out of the library. At this point, I could pick something to put back into the coat check. And then call it a day in the break room, and the break room and the coat check are both back at the beginning of the world. I guess there's a chance that I could draft... Did I already get the attic? The freezer. I could just have some extra stuff to start next game. Or... I could buy out of the showroom probably a thingy. The freezer's fine. We haven't done the freezer in a while. Brr! Okay. I'm gonna decide to put something in coat check and call it a day. Back in the break room. And at least something kind of exciting happened, I guess. I'm still not sure what is going to be like progress forward. I'm not sure why I'm drafting more rooms. I don't need more rooms. Mount Holly Garden Excavation Site. 32 excavated dig spots. That's a lot of digging. I can dig it. Haha. Have a great day, everybody.